bass, blow.
Well guys, it didn't end up working out quite as easily as I had hoped. I figured that once we got that special tool over here on our water pump, we could go ahead and loosen the splines up, get everything apart, and go ahead and pull the pump out the bottom. And it broke loose, but it's just spinning. Like, it's almost like there's no threads, or the threads are messed up. I've messed with it for like at least an hour trying to get it loose, and it's not coming loose. So, unfortunately, it looks like we are gonna have to remove the whole crossover.
Day 3.
Oh my god, boys, what a job. So I have not been filming any of this. Really, I've just been kind of getting it done behind the scenes and just kind of hanging out by myself, listening to music, and sitting down under the engine bay. As you can see in this picture, I had to take a picture for the Instagram, but I was literally sitting right here and just like reaching back in to get the bottom bolts out of the crossover, and I tinkered with it on and off for the past few days. Would not have been able to do it without this new set of swivel spanner wrenches, or whatever these are called. There's coolant ports there, and then two in the back, and I got all new gaskets for everything. Clean all this up, get our new pump installed, get everything good to go, get everything torqued down and ready to go back in. Then we're gonna do a little time lapse, but we're knocking this job out little by little. I'm glad I could kind of update you guys throughout some of the other videos that are coming out. But once I get this cleaned up, we're gonna go ahead and take a little break, and it's about time that we got some stuff done on the PTGT. We got an update for you guys today. Hopefully get it to start up and run, show you guys a little bit more of what you have to look forward to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on that car. Guys, I was literally just like pacing around in here for a while. We pulled the car in, just staring at it, because I am so excited to finally be working on it, finally see it in the shop. Love this car so much. And I mean, that car is fun and all. We have had a ton of fun with that lately, and the fun is definitely not over, but this car will always just be my baby. I don't know why. I've updated you guys on what's been going on with this car in a couple of different videos in the past, but to quickly summarize, basically, I went to pull this car in the shop so we could make a little video on it and start working on some things, and it completely died. It just shut off after idling for a minute. Are you kidding me? Turned itself back off again. I unplugged the battery, plugged it back in. It did the same thing after a minute, and then it got to the point where finally, just no matter what I did, would not turn on. I traded out PCMs. I took my stage one out, threw my old PCM in just to make sure that that wasn't the issue. I've looked over some of the obvious wiring for the PCM. Nothing seemed to be going on there. I've unplugged the battery. I've reset everything you could possibly reset. But for some reason, the car's completely dead. The dash is lit up really weirdly. And like the rings around the gear selector are all lit up, and the security light pops on, but it's not security related, because that would act differently, and just does not seem like a security issue, and not a rat's lock or whatever you want to call it. Whatever they call it on these cars. Doesn't seem to be an issue with that. It seems to be something PCM related, especially because when I plug an OBD2 reader into my OBD port, it's completely dead. There's no power going to it. I can't get my Autel unit to fire up, any of my code readers to fire up. When I do the key cycling trick to try to get any codes to display on the dash, nothing appears. I've been talking to a lot of guys that are way smarter than me over on the PT Cruiser Links forum. I love that forum. The guys that are really good. There's a lot of old timers that know cars and have been like in the business for so long. I think a lot of people get the wrong impression of me because I make videos on these cars. They think that I think I know what I'm doing, or I do know what I'm doing. and it's not true at all. Like, I'm learning as I go, and that's hopefully entertaining to watch. It seems that some of you think so. I have a little bit of knowledge from the last 4 years of working on these cars, and I'm just having fun with it. So one of you guys on the forum said something about a ground harness or something with a wiring harness for a data link connector. And there's like a bunch of grounds that run into the passenger fender up in here somewhere, and that's the next thing that I'm going to check. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that ground became rotted out. You guys can kind of see, but right there, that is a ground, and I assumed that was the connection that we could be having problems with that people were talking about. There's a ground strap, but I have looked it over up and down. Everything seems perfectly fine. Connector that I was being told about, and see, I found this diagram here on the service manual I have downloaded on my computer, and the ground connection that somebody talked about on the forum was G102, which is actually over here on the right side of the engine bay, and you can see it right over there. There's a couple different grounds actually over on this side, but everything looks perfectly fine with that. I could not find anything obviously broken or damaged. The wires run into the bottom of the power distribution block, or whatever you want to call it, which is also known to have issues. But it seems that that ground connector would more than likely be causing an issue with the fact that our data link connector is not working. The fact that we can't plug in and read any codes, it wouldn't really explain our actual issue of the car turning off. I've done some more research off camera, and it looks like there have been a couple of people that have experienced a very similar issue with the dash lighting up the exact same way on 2004 model years. So it seems to be specifically 2004 that had this issue from every place that I looked. And what it's really still acting like is no power to the PCM. That's what's acting like. It's acting like somehow there's not being power delivered to the PCM. Also, this wire was for my oil pressure gauge. It's literally not connected to anything, so just ignore that. I don't know why it came loose. I think our next step is to actually check every fuse. I have pulled every fuse out on my own time and tried to see if any of them were the problem, but I had no luck. I might have to grab a tester first thing in the morning, and we'll try to test them all. This is, I think, a good way to continue our search, assuming that that is our problem. And because I forgot to show you guys before in this video, I'm going to show you what happens when I turn the key. No fuel pump priming. Everything's lighting up fine, but then that light comes on, and these light up all together. All the gear selectors light up all solid, which is really weird, and it should not be like that. It should just show park. After a little bit, the airbag light comes on, and then all the normal lights, and it beeps, but it's definitely acting weird. When I do the key dance, usually you can go 1, 2, 3 with the key, and you'll get any fault codes pop up here at the bottom of the gauge cluster. But when I do that, I don't get anything. Something is messed up.
A few moments later.
Oh, guys, I think we got it. Holy crap. Okay, so it's lighting up. I heard the fuel pump prime. Where is it? Here it is. The ASD fuse. I don't know what ASD is, but when I pulled it out, I started to look through the fuses again, and I swapped out relays back and forth. The ASD relay swapped back and forth. No result. I pulled this fuse out, and I took a closer look. I'm like, you know what? That kind of looks like it could be blown. Not really, but it does. Went ahead and threw a new 20 amp fuse in. Oh god, I kicked over the vacuum. I'm so excited. And we have lights. Here's a moment of truth, guys. Oh my god. Guys, I'm like shaking almost. Holy crap. This has been like the most stressful thing, not knowing what is wrong with this car. Oh my god. Obviously we don't have enough power from the battery because it's been sitting. We're gonna throw a jumper on, and I think we might get to hear this thing start for the first time in so long. I miss you so much. I got the jumper pack. Let's do this again. Oh my god, you're alive. Still misfiring, but you're alive. She still sounds like a Subaru with that misfire.
Tomorrow.
Alright guys, so I have been doing some research on the ASD fuse. Obviously, fuses don't just blow for no reason, and you throw a new one in and it's fine. There's a reason why the ASD fuse blew, and that's what I've been trying to figure out, and I've been trying to figure out exactly what ASD was. And it turns out ASD actually stands for automatic shutdown. Had no clue that's what it stood for. I had no clue what ASD even was, but essentially, if it senses too much draw on certain things, it'll blow, And the most common cause of it, especially on these cars like SRT4s and stuff, is bad fuel pump. Basically, a fuel pump that's going bad, drawing too many amps or whatever, it will cause the ASD fuse to blow. And that actually controls the power. It says here it controls the power to the PCM, coil, injectors, OBD2, surge solenoid, and I think some other stuff as well. So it controls a lot, completely explains all of our problems, completely explains why there was no power to the PCM. And yeah, really crazy. And actually one or two of you guys on the forum said something about an ASD slash fuel pump fuse, and I had no clue. I thought that was literally just the fuel pump, but that controls a whole bunch of stuff to just basically shut everything down so that the car doesn't blow up, essentially, which is really nice. So what might make a little sense is if we are having a fuel pump issue, since it is such a common issue, and also the car has been misfiring and having problems just running well for a long time, as you guys just heard in the clips. So yeah, let's go out to the garage and talk a little bit more about that. That was so dumb. So originally today I was going to try to figure out what made the ASD fuse blow, and it actually was perfect timing because I just ordered a fuel pressure test gauge, and I was originally going to use it on this car and just keep it around for in the future. As you guys know, we have the coolant crossover out right here. That was one heck of a job to get it out, and I just removed the fuel rail, but I didn't actually completely remove it. And I wanted to go ahead and use the test gauge to make sure the system is depressurized. Go ahead and completely remove the fuel rail and a couple other lines to make it a little easier to go back in. That's the reason I ordered it. I actually ordered from the local Napa because they didn't have anything, but order ended up getting a little bit messed up and I couldn't actually get one in time. It was supposed to come today, but now it's going to be another day or two. So I was thinking, well, I'll go pick that up this morning. We'll go ahead and see what the fuel pressure is looking like on this car, kind of play around with it on this car, and then I can go ahead and use it on that. Today was kind of underproductive for that reason, but I am just so incredibly happy that we figured out what was going on with this car. So excited to have it in the shop and to have it be my main focus, my main project again. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and diagnose everything and figure out what was going on with the ASD in the next video. We're also going to get that car all put back together in the next video as well. I think you guys deserve an update for sure on everything that's been going on with this car. So it's not a whole lot of action in this video, but I mean, we got to hear the car start up again. That's action enough. So we're gonna stay tuned for that next episode, and then from there on out, the big stuff is going to start happening. So be sure to stay tuned. Just, I love you all. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for making this car and everything I do here possible. And here's to 10K, because 10,000 subscribers is going to be awesome. Anyways, I think that's enough of a rant for the end of this video. Again, I hope you enjoyed. You won't want to miss the next one, guys. And thank you so incredibly much for watching this quick little channel CG video. You rock. God bless you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.